Greetings, Smalek here, and welcome to the February installment of my Minecraft map history series. In this series, I look back at custom maps that I played in the years of 2011, 2012, and 2013. We are in the second to last episode of this main series, in which I look at maps in the month of February. Let's jump right in. Now, the Februaries of old have been a little bit hit or miss. In 2011, I was not yet reviewing maps in the month of February. In 2012, I reviewed 18 maps, and I am going to talk about two maps that stood out in my memory. The first of these maps is Pastry Pirates. It is an adventure map by Kupo and Featherblade of the Voxelbox. I think the build is absolutely gorgeous. It was whimsical and bright. This map is partly an open world scavenger hunt mixed in with different puzzles where you adventure through a giant garden and interact with fairies and giant teddy bears and other whimsical creatures. I was super eager to play this map at the time because I had just appeared in the Minecon 2011 Map Makers panel with Kupo and got to meet her in person. She was just launching her YouTube channel and had just come off of voice acting and building in the awesome map Deep Space Turtle Chase. And so this was one I was really looking forward to, and when she revealed the theme of it, it really caught me as a unique theme, and I really enjoyed it overall. The other map that really stands out to me from 2012 was Canopy Carnage by Vex. Now, I believe this map actually came out in 2011. I reviewed it in February 2012. This was the first Vex map that I ever played, and at the time that I played it, I seem to remember that if it was called a CTM at the time, I wasn't familiar with that term, and it was actually known to me as a super hostile survival environment. And it was one of the coolest things that I had actually seen to date in Minecraft. It was just this gigantic, thick jungle that you had to explore and find gear to survive on a somewhat square island at that time. But as I got further and further into CTM maps later in my career, I would always look back at this one and say that the visuals caught my eye. And I can clearly remember when this map came out, there was even a warning in the forum thread because there were so many leaf blocks that it was going to be very highly intensive on your computer, and only the best of computers could play this map, which makes me chuckle looking back on it now. Fast forward one more year to 2013, I played 25 maps, and there are three that I'm going to talk about here. On the subject of CTMs, I played a Complete the Monument map by Fumbuckle called Wool World with Felonious the Wizard. I thought this was a really cool twist on a CTM. Basically what the map maker did was take a floating island world and convert all of the blocks to wool. So, grass would become one color of wool, stone would become another color of wool, water would become blue wool, etc. The entire world is made of wool, and you're actually going around from dungeon to dungeon collecting normal blocks. It's fairly small, and it wasn't super difficult, although there are two mob dungeons that if you don't practice good mob control, you can definitely get swarmed in. You're given quite a bit of gold and diamond in abundance because there's no ores to mine, and you can use that to make your tools. And, because it was basically a copy and replace of Minecraft terrain, and there are some places where the build itself could be smoothed out a little bit, but to be honest, it was just such a fun experience, and playing it with Felonious was, I believe, his first CTM ever, and I was able to show him that the CTM type maps can be kind of fun. Alright, the next two maps I'm going to talk about from February of 2012 are both puzzle maps. The first one is A Catalepsy by PHI_NES. This was a really great use of a custom texture pack. It had fun logic puzzles, although the initial beta version that I played was a little bit short. I really like the recursion in some of the rooms, and just the overall ability to puzzle and parkour through this map with a unique texture pack, and the way that the map maker used that texture pack to accentuate the puzzles, I really enjoyed. Last but not least, the puzzle I'm going to talk about is Dimension Jumper by the one and only Bigre, creator of the Dropper maps. And Bigre, this is a really interesting mechanic that I had not seen before. Fun little puzzles that require you to think in 4 dimensions. Basically, you throw down a experience bottle and it warps the dimension that you're in. So if you think about going through a heavenly candy-filled landscape, you're standing on a ledge, you can't get across to another ledge, you throw down the experience bottle and the world flips and you turn into a hellish landscape where there's now a bridge. You cross the bridge, you flip back, and you keep flipping back and forth between dimensions. It was really cool. The texture pack does a very good job of contrasting the 2 dimensions. I really liked the fact that the parkour was fairly light, played on peaceful with no real death penalty, and it was really an interesting game mechanic turned into an entire map. So if you're interested in checking out any of these older maps for Minecraft, make sure to check the forum page and check what version of Minecraft these maps were played in, because you will have to create a new profile and downgrade. I believe fewer and fewer maps these days work in the current version 1.8.2. So that is a look back at maps that I played in Februaries from 2011 to 2013. Next month we will talk about maps I played in March, and then that's it. That will be the 12th episode of this series, and look forward to a bonus episode that recaps what happened in 2014. Until then, see you next time.